Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you happen to find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours. This is another scene for Darkness in Dublin, the vampire venue. This evening we are finding ourselves once again at the Tremere Chantry in a slightly worse for wear state than previous. A wing of the hotel now closed for massive repairs after an explosion rocked it. Our Tremere Regent is sitting in the lobby awaiting a visitor, something she hasn't been accepting for the last, about 4 to 5 days.
Yeah, yeah, a visitor that is relatively tense. Well, then again, she's always tense when she's with people, so no real significant change. But yeah, she is. She looks quite businesslike. She actually has someone you would expect. Like she has clothes on that you would expect to go like to a law office or something. She's
Okay.
nice clothing on, not normal clothing, and she's just we'll go up and we'll just see if the instructions she's gotten to get in are correct.
And they would be. She's sitting down in the lobby, so she's been waiting on her. When Katya approaches, there is a very obvious, now large scar kind of mid-center of her chest.
Emily stops for a moment, comes over to her, and she says, "I what happened, and are you okay?"
I'm okay. Thanks to Francis.
Good.
Evidently, he's got a rather powerful enemy that I simply could not see coming.
Oh, um, okay, that's potentially
He
really bad.
evidently works for the Black Hand.
Emily looks like just waits for that. Like, yeah.
I was preparing for bed some 5 evenings ago when all of a sudden I felt something press against the back of my head. He had a shotgun filled with incendiary ammunition pressed to the back of my skull. Handed me a phone, told me to call Francis, and if Francis didn't give him some very specific information, he would be sending me back to Francis in a matchbox.
Is this person still alive?
Evidently, I was staked not long after the phone call, but when I
Emily,
awoke, there was an Assamite in the room, apparently sent by great Prince Mithras of London, called in on Francis's behalf.
there was a thing with the auction that something went down. What's important is, wow, it's really good to know that you're okay. But
I have never come that close to losing my own life ever, and it was not something I ever want to do again. It's quite clear that, the normally very confident, very strong Katya is very shaken by this. Her voice is unsteady. She's clearly scared.
Emily actually sits down next to you, just takes her hand, actually puts a hand around her shoulder, if she'll allow it.
She would.
You've been alive a lot longer than I have, and I've faced some challenges myself. But look, I don't want this. I don't want any of us to. Is there anything I can do to help you? Like maybe just calm you down, or I mean,
It's okay. I think I'm almost as irritated that my chantry has been violated. There will be consequences for this. I will make him pay.
right. If you need someone like me for, well, my. If you need help, just let me know.
Thank you, Emily. You, Ambrose, and Francis have been a heaven send since this happened. I I have never felt so violated. He came into my bedroom, my home.
It won't happen again.
Well, certainly not in that bedroom. There's not much left of it.
What happened?
I'm not sure. If I can be completely honest, I know that the person who saved me was an Assamite. But other than that, I don't know. I know nothing. As I said, I was staked the entire time. She pulled the stake from my chest.
Right.
Francis arrived not long later.
And that's why you have. That's why you've been here. Okay. All right.
Yes, I've been healing. It was quite a lot of damage. She would
Well,
kind of pull the shirt down and expose the rest of the now scarred area of her chest.
you'll see that Emily will just look away as soon as you begin to do that. She'll just look away a bit. She's like, "Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah, like it's fine."
I think this is the only scar I actually bear, except maybe the one where the spirit burst from my chest, but not really sure why. Everything seems to want to go for my chest, but
Well, it's the easiest to hit.
mm, yes, center mass and all that. I do have some firearms training. Some, not much.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna like find some bunker to sleep in, or what?
I've had Ambrose here for the last 4 nights.
Oh, oh, okay. I see.
Sleeping alone right now doesn't appeal to me.
Right, right. I see. I see. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, honestly. So,
Though I'm not sure even Ambrose could take him. He's quite frankly, he's terrifying.
was it the person that's an enemy of Francis?
His name is Spectre. He's a Nosferatu anti-tribu, I suppose.
Oh, I know. I know. Yeah. Okay. That's bad.
Yes. I
Like you don't have to talk about it. It's fine. Like you want to go for a short walk or something?
actually that would be nice.
All right. All right. Let's go. Uh, Emily just gets up and again she's it's a bit unusual for her to be in this more formal dress, or it's more of a suit. But yeah, she looks very formal, more formal than you've probably seen her before.
Yeah, probably, because I think about the most formal Katya's ever actually seen her was, the gym. To be fair,
Or the masquerade thing.
yeah,
But
and that was,
she was wearing a dress at that time. But that was
that
yeah,
was, all leather. So
yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Anyways, um, but yeah, she will just. I'm guessing she doesn't need help to be like to stand and stuff. She is more or less
oh no,
mobile around.
she is completely healed by this point. That 4 points of ag was a bitch, but
Then the scar will probably disappear like soon. But
actually ag actually does leave scars that don't
I
go away.
I I might be wrong, but I think that's in Requiem. I know that's a thing in Requiem,
It might have to look.
but yeah, just saying. I know that it's indeed in Requiem. It's a thing, but
Either way, whether it goes away or not, oh well.
mm,
But yes, so they take off for a walk because Katya could use it. She has been stuck in here this whole time. So part
yeah,
of that is a kind of self-imposed.
mm,
Don't need people seeing, gaping wound in the Primogen's chest. That would be bad for morale.
quite so. Well, Emily's just somewhat protective. She's quite close, and she's just looks around, like has the demeanor more of a bodyguard, just in the beginning, but like after a couple of minutes of walking, she begins to, well, actually, she begins to become more nervous. Because the whole thing of just checking if there is anyone, or just like that seems to, there she seems focused, but as soon as it's there's an awkward silence or something, she becomes a bit more on edge. As she just says, "So, Um, you're gonna, you're gonna stay in it, your family's place for a while. But I mean, if it's who I think it is, I mean, I suppose anyone who knows Francis should be worried, and everyone who knows Francis should be in a somewhere very very safe where you. I don't think that's possible, but
I don't think it was simply because I knew Francis.
oh,
She would just kind of sigh a little bit. Francis and my relationship goes a little deeper than, well, I'll just say that we know each other biblically.
right, yeah, I gathered as much, but
Though that does put several other women at risk as well.
there's a slight sigh.
You can go ahead and, roll perception empathy because she's bullshitting.
Interesting. And how many?
She knows precisely why she was targeted. She's just not saying it.
Yeah, Emily actually spots it.
Okay. Well, she knows that there's something she's not saying.
Emily won't say anything for a little bit, and she'll just say, "Well, if that was the case, then any of them would have done, right?" I'm quite sure there's more to it than that. Like, he could have, if it was something that meant something to Francis, fair enough. But first of all, it was the Primogen. Secondly, it was someone who knows Francis. But sure, there's not more to it.
Her face would kind of harden a little bit. Her eyes just narrow. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Care to elaborate?
Well, if they're as bitter enemies as I think they are, and if he is as gotten as far as he's gotten, I would think that there'd be more, well, more behind his designs to do so. I think you were targeted specifically, and I don't know. I've been fairly honest with you, and of course I can't expect you to be honest with me. That's fine, but I'd ask you when it comes to your safety and stuff. I do want to help you, but you need to be honest with me in this.
If I tell you, you tell not a soul.
Of course I won't. This is about your safety. I wouldn't. And it's
I
about
am
Francis' safety.
bloodbound. I am bloodbound to Francis.
Oh. Wow, okay.
He wanted that information revealed to Lord Stalheim.
Oh, shit.
That was the ultimatum he gave Francis. He gave him 12 minutes to call Lord Stalheim and tell him about our blood bond, or he would kill me. The only way he could have feasibly known about this bond was if he watched Francis and I make love and Francis blood bond me.
That is very fucked up and creepy.
Yes, it's not the only time he violated me, vividly. I,
Is it mutual?
no.
Uh, uh, why not? And she's about to say why not, but she stops herself. Okay, just nods and continues. You know, I'm just gonna leave that there and not gonna talk about it ever again.
That would be preferable.
Hey, I promised you, right?
Yes, you did.
I'm perhaps the shittiest kindred in existence.
Oh,
Just so
don't
you
worry about
know,
that.
I can't lie, and I tend to be brutally honest and keep my promises, which is, as far as I can assess, it's about the three worst qualities a kindred has to live for, well,
Well,
any length of time. So, but I'm not going to change. So, yeah,
I wouldn't want you to change.
thanks. She smiles.
I would hate to see you change.
Why does Lord Stolheim seem to be the center of every problem in this city?
I don't necessarily think it was Lord Stalheim's issue. This was a Francis and his enemy issue.
Right, right. Yeah, I suppose.
It just so happened that I got caught in the crossfire. But evidently Francis called in the minor boon that Prince Mithras owed him to save me. He also really called Hennessy, as Hennessy showed up mere minutes after he did.
Mm.
But enough of this talk. It's emotionally draining, and that's the
I
last
know.
thing I most need.
Right. So, anything you want to do before we head back?
Actually, getting a cup of coffee and something sweet sounds amazing right now.
All right. Yeah, and there'll be some. I don't think you have diners in Dublin or in Ireland, but they will have a pub or something that's probably open. They'll get in, and Emma will just order uh, a large cup of coffee and some sweet pie, and she'll sit down. She'll just so right. Were you did you hear anything about the asylum? Like,
I was there.
so This wasn't. Wow. Okay. So what was this afterwards, or?
It was. It was about 2 hours before the sun came up.
Oh shit. Well, did that go good, bad?
Well, the seal is broken. We confronted the first gargoyle ever created and brought her down. And then Ishar, I would assume, took over the lupine that was with us. That's all. The only assumption I could make is that he took him over.
That's horrifying.
Luckily, I managed to get a hold of him and use one of my gifts of the blood to make him take a nap.
Good. I heard they're quite well unmanageable when they first get going. It's good to know.
Yes. I'm certainly glad that he didn't get that chance. Lest I don't think any of us would have made it out of there. The Red Alistair is dead.
Shit.
Ishar beheaded her in front of us.
How? Like, did he capture
I
her? Or?
don't know. She went in ahead of us.
Well, that's fucking stupid.
All we saw was her be beheaded.
Shit.
I gathered her ashes and took them back to her sire.
Well, that's
Though I'm not sure how much it mattered to him. I'm as cold as ice. You probably don't know, do you? She's the child of Lord Stalheim, or was.
no, I didn't. But Ellen seems to be contemplating as your coffee arrives. She just sits there. First gargoyle created.
Which, mind you, was created by Lord Ishar. He
I
was the
know.
one who created the ritual.
He said as much. He hasn't been lying.
No. She was the one who held open the gates of Vienna when Ishar came for them. She was the one who put a knife through one of my clan members' backs and put him into torpor. Seeing her go down was a great pleasure. Whatever she was before, there's nothing left of it there now.
Right. But we have, well, more than one problem. But how many seals left before he gets what he wants?
One. I can only guess that that is the death of the voivode.
Well, doesn't necessarily mean that we have to kill it.
He's too dangerous to be left alive, is the sad thing about it.
What happened to you not too long ago? You were staked. What if we stake him and then encase him in cement or something? Or keep him in under constant
You
surveillance.
don't know very much about the Zamisi, do you?
No, I don't.
Their heart is not always where it appears to be. Now, the problem with that is, if we stake them where the heart would normally be, and it's not there, he could simply pretend we have staked him and then slip off into the night.
Okay, then we beat the shit out of him until he stops moving, but not gets to dust. And then we make sure that's the case.
It would take an awful lot of stakes to find something
No,
that
I'm not
large
talking
as
about
heart.
staking. Just chopping at him, but not killing him, if that's possible. I know it's not a surefire thing, but what if we could? What if we could?
It's possible.
Chances are he'll probably appear out of nowhere as soon as we do that and finish it. But then I suppose we have to
But
jump him as soon as he does that.
I also have contact information for a young man here in Dublin, given to me at the asylum. He has one half of the seal, I have the other.
What do you mean of the seal?
The seal that was broken at the asylum has a physical manifestation.
Do you think you could put it back together?
That's the thought process.
Interesting. Do you think, like, he is like us, right? He's motivated by the same thing, right? Well, not
Oh,
motivated by the same things, but he
he
works like us.
clearly wanted him dead. He was completely mortal, I mean.
No,
Upon
I'm
using
talking.
my aura sight, he was most certainly mortal, but
Yeah, but it's Aisha I'm talking about. Do you think he could frenzy like the rest of us?
of course he could.
Then that's what we
Any
need to do.
any kindred can be drawn into a frenzy. You just have to find the right thing.
But that's what we have to do. Think of it. He can disappear and be wherever he wants to and evade things.
That particular ability is a path of our blood sorcery,
Right,
one my husband knew well.
right. But if he's in a frenzy,
Oh, blood sorcery is nigh impossible in a frenzy.
that's my
It
point.
takes too much higher thought.
Most of anything other than running or jumping someone is what you're going to be able to do. I know. We pretty much all know. So, if we get him to frenzy, he can't do anything. Of course, he's going to jump someone, but we're going to be ready for that. That's going to be our chance because if he frenzies, he's not going to be able to escape as easily. And we're all going to have, and he's not going to be able to do any sort of blood sorcery or anything. He's just going to be able to attack. And We do that, then we all jump him.
And therein lies the problem. How do we make a creature like Ishar frenzy?
That sounds like a question one could consider asking, well, not someone, but something.
Yes, it's a possible question. We can take it before the rest of the group.
Probably should. But you know more about this sorcery stuff than I do. Obviously, but
Not by much, my dear.
well, it's still a lot. But am I not somewhat on the right track here? Like a
Shit,
lot of the
other
stuff,
hangouts.
a lot of the stuff wouldn't wouldn't work, right?
No, it wouldn't. But we should go, my dear.
Right, right, right. Yeah. You need to get back and stuff. Yeah. And she'll get up, and the two of them will go back at a leisurely pace. And
Yes, and once they get back, Katya will lean up and place a kiss on her cheek. Thank you for coming to check on me.
oh, that's fine. You don't have to thank me. That's totally fine. Emily says in one go, and she just seems as though something's just broken, or something just like she just nods, smiles, formally bows, and then she goes walks away.
And with that, we can call our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin. See you next time.
Bye.